Hey, beautiful, light-filled souls. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing two interviews with some near-death experiencers soon. And Rob, a Gentile, is one of my interviewees coming up, and Kat Young. So you can check out Rob's interview with Shannon Torres. I'll have the link below. And you can also find Kirsty Salisbury's interviews with Kat Young and others on her channel. I always want to introduce you to other interviewers who talk with near-death experiencers because I know many of you watch several of these stories, and I want to know what you want to hear that you didn't hear in another interview, because one thing I kind of skip over sometimes is the physical trauma, because I can find that traumatizing, and I like to get to that afterlife, and I love to get to those moments of the after effects because I find it so interesting how these moments in time are integrated into our lives. And that's been the fun journey for me as an experiencer, and I love to hear that from other experiencers. So if you haven't checked out Rob Gentile's story, please do. There's so many beautiful moments. There's this one moment where he's talking about how we're all connected through this web of light, and these pieces of light connect us all, so that when we harm one person, we're harming everyone, including ourselves. And that message of oneness is something that flows through a lot of near-death experiences, but the way he explained it was so beautiful, and I really look forward to hearing more about that. And Kat Young is a friend of mine. I've met her at conferences, and she's also a near-death experiencer, and she has a lot of wisdom from her heart condition that has caused a profound near-death experience and changed her life as well. So there's a lot of after effects that we're going to talk about in our interview. But I'd love it if you have time and you have seen their interviews, if you would comment below and tell me what you're dying to hear from Rob Gentile or Kat Young. That would be exciting for me and would give me a focus of what to say in my next interviews, because I want to connect with you, my audience, and I want you to feel like you're participating in this because you've heard one interview, and now what more do you want to hear in my interview? So I'll do it my way, like with or without your help, but I'd love your help. So that is what I would like from you, my audience, if you can. And if you're too busy, then just wait for the interviews. But I also talked with a friend of mine, Griselda Pacheco, about women's issues and really about knowing the self. And one of the moments in that interview that I liked a lot was when we were talking about nature, and from her philosophical knowing and perspective versus near-death experiencers, we really met in this place of, hey, nature is this ancient truth that takes us out of our politics. It takes us out of these discussions and arguments and really just puts us all at ground level and a place to relate. And we also talked a lot about the life journey of every person is complex, and I get really bored by stereotypes, and I have traveled widely and been outside of the United States, so sometimes I get this sense that I talk too much about division in the United States when my audience is around the world, and sometimes you don't even perhaps know what's going on in the States. But wherever you are, we all encounter stereotypes and division, and the near-death experience shows us that we're connected. And so even if you don't like being connected to someone, the greater knowledge is knowing that at this spirit level, all is fine, all is beautiful, and we can shift into this oneness. At a ground level, it seems to be the one thing that we can agree on is nature, that everyone feels more at peace and more balanced when we have a better connection with nature. So there's these two realms that I think beyond words and beyond all this political discourse and this discussion that we can agree on, and that is this higher realm, and this realm of we are nature. We are connected to nature. So those are important concepts to consider. And why is it that so many near-death experiencers are told to remind people to go to nature? I